Hey, it's Terry Gorry, and this is the Irish Law and Small Business podcast. Okay, so today was day 3 of the Wilson Hospital School versus Enoch Burke case in the High Court. And today we had evidence from one of the persons who was at the disciplinary meeting that was held in the Mullingar Park Hotel, Freedom Alone. She was a guidance counsellor and she's a member of the board. She said that Enoch Burke, his mother and sister Amy, were conducted by his brother Isaac in loudly chanting during a school board of management disciplinary hearing, which ended with a decision to serve a notice of dismissal on Mr. Burke. They were chanting, "Where is John Rogers? Where is John Rogers?" And they were conducted in this, according to Freedom Alone, by Isaac Burke. All 4 Burkes were standing so close to the desk where the members of the board sat that at one point Amy Burke's hair whipped me in the face. According to Freedom Alone, she's, as I say, a guidance counsellor in the school and she's a member of the board. She said Isaac was conducting the chants, "Where is John Roberts?" When the High Court judge asked which one was Isaac, he was told that it was the one who carries the box. Another witness today was John Galligan. He's the deputy principal in the school. He said that Mr. Burke suddenly erupted at a school staff meeting on May the 10th, 2022, 2 days after Miss McShane's request. Miss McShane is the principal, or was the principal, concerning addressing the transitioning student. Mr. Burke said he could not sit there any longer and asked Miss McShane to withdraw her demand. Miss McShane very calmly asked Mr. Burke to stop, saying the meeting was not the place to discuss the matter, but Mr. Burke went on about transgenderism for about 5 to 8 minutes and challenged the school chaplain whether the request was in line with his religious beliefs. Mr. Galligan gave further evidence about a meeting on May the 18th at another staff meeting. He spoke to Mr. Burke about his religious beliefs and opposition to transgenderism, and Mr. Galligan, though, was concerned, and the principal was concerned about how Mr. Burke would address the student, the transitioning student, if he had to take a class which contained the student or deal with a roll call. He would not answer her question directly and kept repeating he was a professional and his professionalism was not in question. We were none the wiser how he would deal with that situation if it arose, Mr. Galligan said. So Mr. Galligan was the deputy principal. Mr. Galligan then said he attended a board of management meeting on August 15, 2022, where the chairman, John Rogers, read from a report concerning Mr. Burke prepared by Miss McShane under stage 4 of a disciplinary process. The content of the report was not discussed, but a meeting was arranged for August the 22nd to consider whether Mr. Burke should be placed on paid administrative leave. Mr. Burke attended that meeting then on August the 22nd with his sister Amy. He raised many questions about the wording of the circular letter from the Department of Education about the disciplinary process, but had not directly addressed why he should not be placed on administrative leave. And the purpose of the meeting, or one of the purposes, was to allow him to explain or put his case basically as to why he shouldn't be placed on administrative leave, that is, suspended. The court was told Mr. Burke had said he never got a chance to complete his submissions to the board. The meeting was conducted in a haphazard manner and ended with the chairperson walking out of the room. Mr. Burke has said he told the meeting what was being proposed was extremely serious, would put a significant blemish on his good name, and Mr. Rogers ordered him multiple times to take the administrative leave. Mr. Galligan agreed Mr. Rogers had said words to Mr. Burke during along the lines, this was just an initial meeting. Take your administrative leave, and everyone needed some leeway. Mr. Burke or Mr. Rogers adjourned the meeting for after 30 or 40 minutes because the Burkes were going on and it was getting nowhere, absolutely nowhere. He did not remember the chairperson saying it was over for you. Members of the board were in shock. It was the first time some had met Mr. Burke and his sister, he said. The board meeting was reconvened after a break without the Burkes, and it was ultimately decided to place Mr. Burke on administrative leave. There was a health and safety concern about what may happen when children were present. When the school resumed in September, Mr. Galligan said the concern was whether children, particularly first-year students, may witness interruption and protest. That is the evidence on day 4, and the evidence so far, there's been 4 witnesses for the school. There has been Mr. Galligan, the deputy principal. There was the lady there today, the guidance counsellor, and Miss Malone. Yesterday you had the former principal, Niamh McShane, and you had the lady who was at the school religious service, Miss, I think it was Brabazon Clark was her name. That's 4 witnesses for the school. 4 witnesses have given their evidence. They've been taken through their evidence by senior counsel Alex White or Mark Connaughton. I'm not sure why the school has 2 senior counsels and a junior. Just don't know the answer to that, but to have 2 seniors and a junior, and in the reports, Mark Connaughton, senior counsel, is reported at some stages, and Alex White, senior counsel, is reported at other stages. The bottom line is that there are 4 witnesses here for the school who have given evidence unchallenged. Unchallenged because Enoch Burke hasn't been seen today or yesterday. Nobody appears to know where he is. The fact of the matter is that any case is a contest between witnesses, between versions of events, which is the more plausible version of events, which is the more likely to have happened, and that's where the whole question of direct evidence and cross-examination and so on comes into sharp focus. Today, though, and yesterday, these 4 witnesses for the school could give their evidence unmolested, as it were, without having to answer a question from in a cross-examination. That's Mr. Burke's choice. He's chosen not to attend. So tomorrow, then, the situation is the school legal team for the school is going to give or make their final submission, and the judge then will reserve his decision probably. Mr. Burke obviously could well show up tomorrow and could well make a submission and obviously seek to persuade the judge of his version of events is more likely and more plausible and more credible, but it'll be difficult in circumstances where he hasn't been present for the last 2 days in the court to challenge the evidence of the witnesses for the school. The judge has made it clear as well during the last 2 days when Mr. Burke wasn't present that there is a video link set up for Mr. Burke to watch the proceedings if he wants to, and each day apparently the judge has made it clear to Mr. Burke that if he was watching that he was free, at liberty certainly, to come along and participate in the proceedings, provided he gave an undertaking to the court to basically behave himself and conduct himself in a reasonable way. That hasn't happened, and emails have been sent to Mr. Burke at the request of the judge by the school's team, but no reply apparently, or no response has been forthcoming. Tomorrow, as I say, the court will hear the final submission by the school's legal team. It's up to Enoch Burke whether he goes along then and makes his submission. He obviously subpoenaed or summoned 3 clerics, including a canon and a bishop, to attend the High Court. They have been, or 2 of them certainly, have been in attendance, but they haven't been needed because Enoch Burke hasn't been there to ask them questions. Nobody has, and obviously they are his witnesses because he summons them, so they haven't had to open their mouth, quite frankly. That's the story. Day 4 is, or that's day 3 we've had a look at there now. Day 4 is tomorrow, and we will see what happens. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.